Gardner, the first of 5 projected corners to be taken to the first rounds. 2 teams, Seahawks and Eagles, are expected to use picks acquired through trade to help build their defenses. There's a lot of quarterback talent there, though. Derek Stingley Jr. and Trent McDuffie also the top 15 picks, as we welcome in our NFL draft analyst, Jordan Reid. And Reid, you showed you a second ago, Sauce Gardner, plenty of those defensive guys on that side of the ball. At corner, there's a lot of depth there. But give me perhaps another position you like where there's a lot of depth to be had.
Well, it has to be defensive end, Matthew. I'm really excited about this class. We could see as many as 7 go in the first round, and that's accounting for Penn State's Arnold Ebiketie and then also Minnesota's Boye Mafe. But it all starts with Aiden Hutchinson at the top. Just a wonderful blend of pass rushing prowess, maturity as a run defender, and he had 14.5 sacks last year, which was a Michigan record. And then after that, we have Trayvon Walker at Georgia, who is more potential over production right now. Only 9.5 career sacks, but what happens with NFL teams is that there's a trend. And they missed on Odafe Oweh at the back end of the first round, and then also Danielle Hunter. And these teams are comfortable with taking potential over production players right away. So keep an eye on Trayvon Walker, but also Jermaine Johnson II from Florida State. I really like him too. He's a player that is also surging up draft boards right now.
You with potential, you have to develop pass rush and corner paramount in the NFL right now, especially because of the way the quarterbacks are slinging it all over the yard. Speaking of quarterbacks, let's talk about them and what you have in store for them coming up in the draft. That deemed to have a strong quarterback class. Jordan, 2 of them off the board of the first 6 picks. Malik Willis projected to the Lions at number 2. Kenny Pickett projected by you to go to the Panthers at number 6. I told you during the break, this intrigues me, the Willis and Pickett in the top 10. Please explain, sir, why you have both of these quarterbacks going in the top 10.
Well, with Detroit, I just think they have Jared Goff that is in place right now, and I think they have a quarterback that you can win with, but they need somebody that you can win because of. And with Malik Willis, I think he enters a situation of where he's not forced to play right away, which is what he needs. He's very raw at the position. He has some things that he needs to learn. They have Mark Brunell as the quarterback's coach there, who was a very successful quarterback in his own right when he played in the league. So I like Malik Willis' spot with the Detroit Lions at number 6 overall. They have to get that position solidified eventually. Nothing matters in the rebuild until they get that spot situated. And also the Carolina Panthers at number 6 overall. A quarterback, there's just no way that they can put Sam Darnold and Cam Newton out there again, especially with Matt Rule. He has to win games next year. And I think with Kenny Pickett having the highest floor of all the quarterbacks in this draft class, I think they could take a liking to Pickett.
Which, by the way, Pickett, a connection to Matt Rule, almost played for him at Temple. Malik Willis, every bit of a project, big arm, wild people with the pro day. Can that translate into the NFL? And after Willis and Pickett going to the top 6, you don't have a quarterback going to Matt Corral at number 40. That's a big disparity between number 6 and number 40, 34 picks in between. Why is there such a big gap between the quarterbacks in your mind?
Well, I think this is what is so different than what we have seen in years past, Matthew, in that we knew who was the quarterback 1 going into this group the past 3 years, whether it was Kyler Murray in 2019, Joe Burrow in 2020, and then also last year with Trevor Lawrence. But with this group, it's so different. We not only don't know who the first quarterback is going to be selected, but we don't know who the number 1 overall pick is going to be in this group. So I think the race for quarterback 3 really starts with the Pittsburgh Steelers at 20 overall. You can say the Detroit Lions at the back end of the first round, but there's some fits that I like that I included in my mock draft with some of these quarterbacks that are quarterback 3 through quarterback 5 or even quarterback 6 in this group. The Seahawks obviously need a quarterback. The Washington Commanders could bring in some competition for Carson Wentz. And then also the Indianapolis Colts, they could look for an heir apparent to groom under Matt Ryan eventually.
You saw that full screen there, Matt Corral, Desmond Ridder, both of those guys, a lot of buzz, especially Desmond coming out of the Pro Day circuit and some of the Senior Bowl stuff.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.